one day I'll get to the point where I have like an intro, like we talk Mavs and like cool effects and stuff. Like it's the goal to get there eventually, one of these days.
Right.
But we got a pregame show here today. It's come a long way from doing the first one, and you jumping on and helping me out with the first one. And we got a special guest here today, by the name of RELLE from We Talk Mavs. What's up, bro?
What's good, man?
Ready to talk some Mavs versus Pelicans here.
Yeah, man. It's always good to talk Mavs, man.
Of course, of course. Well, hopefully today's a little bit of a better, how would I put it, outing versus as opposed to what we did against the Celtics.
Right.
Which I heard you in your post game, you were like upset with the energy, right? I mean, I guess it's a good segue to lean into that. Like with the New Orleans Pelicans, they're without CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, even Valanciunas. I think he's out too. With all those guys out, is this a trap game for us, or what do you think it's gonna look like today?
Man, I hope not, man. Hopefully, we learned our lesson from the 7 game win streak we had. Remember, a lot of people were saying that we weren't playing anybody in the 7 game win streak, but before the 7 game win streak, we actually were struggling against teams like that.
Mm-hmm.
One of those teams we lost against was New Orleans without most of their big guns or whatever. So hopefully they learned their lesson. We are at home again, so hopefully Dallas plays with a little bit more energy and aggression in this game
Yeah.
compared to in the Boston game. So I think they're going to take care of it. Now, of course, me being a Mad fan, I think they will. But I think just in general, I think they'll take care of business today.
Yeah, man. I hope so. I hope that is the case. I mean, if we're being honest, bro, we're really being honest. We have no excuses not to win this game today. We're at home. The Pelicans are coming off a game from last night. They're without all of their starters. It kind of reminds me of the first game we had against them, right? They were
Right.
without everybody, and they had CJ McCollum, which was enough to beat us. This time they don't have CJ McCollum or Valanciunas, so there's absolutely no excuse for us not to get this dub today. So we're looking at the roster that they got left over. All right, let me see where is it. I think I got it pulled up here. So I don't know who their starting players are going to be today, but they still got Herbert Jones available, Jose Alvarado, Trey Murphy, Dyson Daniels, Larry Nance. Oh, he's out too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. It was questionable, but I guess now they changed it to he actually going to be out. They got a lot of people out tonight, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I always wonder, like, sometimes you think, like, these teams that they know that they're going to be, the New Orleans Pelicans going to have to see the Mavs eventually again, right? Do you think sometimes these teams, like, don't play their starters on purpose just so they don't give too much away to one of these contending teams in the West?
Man, sometimes, but in this case, I'm kind of confused on this because Dallas has a chance to catch this team and pass them in the standings, right? And so it's like, do you want to kind of risk that by? I mean, I don't know if these guys are really hurt. I don't know, but if they're not really hurt, do you want to chance that by resting these guys against a team that has a chance to pass you in the standings, a team
Mm-hmm.
that has a chance to kind of be hanging around you guys in the standings at the end, which anything could happen. Like Dallas could win a game here, they lose a game there, and we jump them in the standings and solidify that third seed towards the end of the
Yep.
season or whatever, right? So that's why I'm confused on it. And it's like, and then my other thought is like, is New Orleans looking at Dallas like a free bingo space, or is it just like, look, let's just rest our guys tonight? Like, I wonder what their thinking is on that right now.
Right. I know you and King talk about that a lot. Like, there's no more free bingo spaces, right?
Right. No more
those
free
days are
bingo.
gone.
Especially like I
Yeah.
said, man, we were struggling against the bad teams. I mean, we had our little run here, the 7 game win streak against the bad teams, but it's like now, I'm still going to, treat a lot of these teams that we are supposed to beat with a little bit more respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to call them a free bingo space because anything can happen. We're seeing Detroit, we're seeing Orlando, a team like that beat good teams this year. So that's why I'm like, nah, I'm not going to sit here and just disrespect them like that, man. Even though they don't have anybody playing, we've seen Dallas lose to teams that don't have their big guns playing. So definitely going to hope Dallas can come in here, man, take care of business and treat this game very serious.
Yeah. No, and today is when you look at the standings, the Pelicans are 24-15, the Mavericks are 22-17. Uh, we could put ourselves within the game, literally
Yeah.
within one game of the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, do they think that they could beat us today? I don't see why they wouldn't think that. because of how we played against the worst teams in the West. Because you saw how we played against the Rockets and the Spurs. They're literally the bottom of the West, and it
Right.
took a playoff Luka to beat said team. So I hope
God
it's not
mode, Luka.
a what
I'll tell the king that's God mode, Luka.
God mode.
Yeah, dude out there like Goku or somebody in Dragon Ball in God mode, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
man, and you know I got that Mavs and 10 dropping after the Pelicans game today. I already kind
Oh,
of pre-shot it, so I got it ready. I just got to add the New Orleans Pelicans part. And I
yeah,
sent you the thumbnail to it, and it's like you said, it's very very fitting for how this win streak and how these last set of 10 games have gone.
right.
With Luka literally doing everything in the sense of being in God mode to beat the worst teams in the West,
Exactly.
man. Like, all
Exactly.
right. With that being said, with the Pelicans having injuries, with the Mavs having injuries as well, I was really looking forward to this game because I wanted to see Zion. I actually wanted to see the Pelicans at full strength. Obviously, I would like for us to be at full strength too, but I really wanted to see that Zion and Luka matchup, right? Because we've only seen it once, I believe.
Yeah, once.
What do you think the trajectory of Zion Williamson's career is going to end up going? I know we're very Mavs centric, but I like to talk about the other teams when we get to do these pregame shows.
I can't remember who said this. I do apologize. I want to say it was DDP, but I'm not 100% sure.
Mm,
He was saying that. Oh no, it was who was it? Talking about Zion's potential. Remember when Zion came in, he was looked at as being a generational player, like a Luka or somebody like that, right?
right.
And he's supposed to be more of towards like a LeBron than a Blake Griffin or a Derek
Mm,
Coleman or um Larry Johnson, somebody like that, right? Like those players that are named off aren't bad, but you were looked at to be the next LeBron. You're supposed to be that next generational player. You know what I'm saying?
legit.
And so, like right now, I mean, the way his career is starting to kind of go right now, as far as like his injuries and everything, you're leaning more towards the Larry Johnsons and the Blake Griffins and stuff like that. Which, like I said, those guys aren't bad; they're very good players. But you were expected to be LeBron.
Mm, mm. And it sucks because I love Zion's game just as much as I love majority of these players' games that we got in the league, except this one guy in Phoenix. For some reason, I just can't come around to him. But uh, with Zion, I just really wanted to see how they match up again with him and Luka because the first time we met up with them, when Zion was healthy, right, it was a really good game. It came down to what I think it was. They went in overtime, I believe. And Maxi Kleber had several blocks on him.
Yeah, he
Luka had
was on that game.
Yeah, Luka had put Drew Holiday in a little spin cycle, and that's kind of like the last time we played New Orleans at full strength, and I was really looking forward to that. One thing about the pregame show is I would like for us to kind of like use it as a conversation. So
Right.
whenever people are leaving comments, like we could just react straight up live to them. That way it's more conversational based. Because what I noticed is, right, since I started
Hmm.
doing these things, they could drive the entire show. Like the last shows that I've had, they've drove the entire show, bringing up trade talk. So especially Harold, he'd be up in here a lot, and
Yeah.
who else be up in here? 41 Ultra 41, something like that. They be driving the show, bro. So let's look at the comments real quick. So Harold said, "Are we going to trade Bojan for Bertans for a first round pick?" Did you see that report earlier today?
Uh, I think I saw you tweeted, I think, or retweeted or
Yeah.
something.
Yep. Do you know what it is? So here's what it is. It is Bertans and the 2027 first for Bogdanovich. There we go. I'm sorry. I say get hell yeah in an instant. What do you think?
Um, man, you know how I am about the first rounds, man. Bogdan being on the other side of 30, 34. Um,
Oh damn.
given the first round pick for a 34-year-old, the question I always gotta ask, think King always says this all the time. Adding him to the team, does that make you a contender? Give up that first. Does he make you a contender? He make you anywhere close to a contender if you add him to this team.
All right. I get what you're saying. We're forced right now without him. We're forced right now without the majority of our squad. You get our squad back. You add him. He's a starter. Let's be honest. On this team, he's got to be a starter.
You think he would start though?
Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
if I'm Jason Kidd, I'm moving Dinwiddie to the bench because I got Bogdanovich out there. So then Spencer Dinwiddie could come off the bench and literally alleviate and go against the bench units, right? And that's where he's a lot better. I think it helps us quite a bit. It helps us a lot. Like in the short term, in the next 2 years, yeah, he helps us a lot. And is it worth it? With the way the West looks, I think it's worth it.
Yeah. As far like he's not a bad player. I'm not saying that by any stretch.
Right.
It's just like right now you're trying to, hold on to the first to make a better deal or whatever. And I know that y'all are saying throw in Bertans. Like I would love to get rid of Bertans, like Bertans, Tim, guys like that. I would love to get rid of them. I think I've said before on our show, there's a lot of time. Like I really feel like the way you get rid of Tim and Bertans, you're gonna probably have to attach it first. Now, like I said, if Nico can work his magic and can get rid of those guys without attaching one of our first, then that dude would be the greatest GM of all time. But as far as like giving up that first and Bertans for Bogdanovich, oh man, I don't know. I really
kind of torn.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn. Like say you came to me and said, "Yo, we get him 2 second-round picks and that." Like, I'll jump on that in a heartbeat, right? It's just the first. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around the first. But if you're talking about getting rid of Bertans in the trade and you get back Bogdanovich, that's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. Ultra, let me know if the audio is still choppy. I don't know much more we could do on this end about that. And I think it really just depends on my Wi-Fi and your Wi-Fi and why it's choppy. But I can hear you clearly over here. So probably.
I mean, yeah, I can hear you, but it's kind of like freezing every once in a while. Am I freezing?
No, you're not freezing at all on my end. Mine's freezing on your end?
Yeah, I'm surprised because normally my stuff be acting up, man. I gotta hear it from King and Johnny B, man. So yeah.
Man, it could be my stuff. I don't know. It's interesting. Because whenever I do these lives, I put my phone on airplane mode. That way I don't get no phone calls and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But then I don't know, that could be a thing. Saludos, Lupita. Malcolm, he says choppy. Dang. Yeah, let me know if it's still choppy, man. If not, we could refresh this. I'm not sure. But I haven't seen any other comments, so maybe the chop has gone away. You can still hear me though, clearly, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Well, it's better now. I reset the stream. Okay. Appreciate that. Appreciate the follow-up. So I don't know what other ideas or what other trades are coming down the line, but I do know if we were able to get Bogdanovich for Bertans, we literally get one of our unplayable players, right, and replace him with literally a starter. And the way I was looking at it is like you kind of got to show Luka that you want to win now instead of waiting. Because if we wait for that 27 draft pick, we're going to utilize it to go get another star, right? That's the game plan. To me, I just have not been comfortable knowing that we're going to go get another star because we haven't done it. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the track record that we could do it. And for me, it's like you just need to get talent as much as you can, as much as possible. You could always trade Bogdanovich next year, right? So I'm like, go get him now.
So you mean you talking when you say the track record and you talking about the star? You talking about as far as trading for a guy? Or you talking about just in general?
In general, and the reason I say in general because when's the last time we've been able to get a star ever? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If we consider the Antoine Jameson trade way back, that was pretty good. It's not a star. We consider the Washington Wizards when we traded Howard to get Butler and Hayward. You improved, but it's not a star. And it just KP was the closest thing to it, and that's what really soured and made it real bad to see him play as bad or just be unavailable. That's what made it real difficult for us. It's like, dang, we swung for it and we missed big time. So we
Right.
just don't have the best track record when it comes to like, going all in and going to get that star. And some of these stars are probably going to be, over 30. And do we want to do that? You know what I'm saying? For this in this situation, I would do it for Bertans, for Bogdanovich. It'll cost us a first. It's going to cost us first anyway to get players. I'm like, you do it because then you can utilize your 25th and your 26th. You could use Tim Hardaway and then go get somebody with that, and you're not going to have any first round picks because with Luka, you theoretically should always be good, right?
Right.
So why not just stack the talent while you can, especially if we're going to be in luxury tax out. This is the only way to do it. Yeah, that's the way I'm thinking about it. Every team can outbid us in any star caliber player. So Harold said that every team can outbid us,
They can.
or because we just don't, we don't have any
Literally
talent.
until we can convey that pick over to New York, man, we really kind of handcuffed on the total
What?
amount of our first round picks right now. So
Why are we holding on to that pick?
you said why are we holding on to it?
Yeah, why are we holding on to it?
No, it goes over officially to New York at the end of the year. That's why.
Okay.
When it's officially over to New York, then we're able to use the rest of our picks up until I think 2029, I believe. So
Yeah, I just find that weird. Like, what's the holdup? Like, why haven't we just, here's the pick, it's yours.
because technically, if we
Uh,
fall in the top 10, we keep our pick. So we
mm,
have to wait for the season to play out before we can officially say, okay, it's your pick now. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that's
Oh,
why.
that makes sense. That makes sense. What they say, Richard says, as of right now, we have all our first, but 1 through 29. But 1 through 29, you can't get back to back for one player. Okay. And then Ocha said, outside of Alvarado career, now I think we good. Yeah, that's a good point. I was wanted to get back to that as far as like the players that they have. Where I got the Larry Nance and he was out. They do got a pretty good a squad coming off the bench. If you look at it unbiasedly, right? Like they got Jose Alvarado, pretty good player. Trey Murphy, pretty good. They even got Devontae Graham, and I know he was like consideration for like most improved a couple years back.
He can light it up. He always seem to light it up against us.
Yeah, and Luka gave him a lot of props a couple years ago
Yeah.
for most improved, I believe, in like 2019, I think. I mean, for me, I just hope we get this win. They got players literally Jackson Hayes, Garrett Temple. So they got players. They just shouldn't be able to beat us with a Luka, Christian Wood, and Spencer Dinwiddie. It shouldn't be a game today, really.
Man, listen, I'm with you. That's why I'm hoping Dallas can learn from the last game. You came out flat and all that good stuff. Like come out aggressive. You know, just take care of business, man. Like understand the importance of this. This could position you, like you just said at the beginning of the show. This could position you to be a game away from that third seed. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
this is your opportunity right here. Like it's literally laying for you on a platter. Where, like I said, half your squad is missing. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like we need to take care of business. Let me ask you a question though. I forgot to ask King this. I thought about this the other day. I hate when I hear stuff and I can't credit people. I apologize.
I good. You
Um,
always do it though. You always do it though. So you good.
would you be mad if, or should I say, could you see um McKinley Wright being an Alvarado type player?
I could see it. I could see him more like a variation of a JJ Barea and Alvarado type of player. Because he has like the build of Barea,
Mm-hmm.
but he does have that little tenacity, a little
Like
bit of that
Alvarado.
Alvarado tenacity defensively. So I could see him being that. Um, but I don't think in any given night should he get more than 15 minutes. Because
Yeah,
he's just so small. But I have been impressed with the way he's been playing. Extremely impressed. And I think he should have got a lot more run instead of Kemba when Kemba was here. But now that he's not here, that opens up the door for him to get more run. But do you think whenever Josh Green gets back, do you think his minutes start to dwindle? You catch that?
no, say it again.
Oh, I said, do you think when Josh Green gets back, do you think his minutes are going to start to dwindle as far as what he
No,
does get right now?
No. I think they'll go. Listen, if Reggie Bullock is out here giving you zeros across the board in 36 minutes a game, bro, then Josh Green gonna continue to keep getting his minutes, man. I think that with the way things have been going, I think hopefully. I'm sorry. Let me not say I think. Let me say hopefully, because there's a
Right.
lot of things this kid done and we just like scratching our heads on. It's like a common sense thing that you didn't do until your hands were forced, like starting to Christian Wood. So I'm hoping that he sees what we're struggling in. And a lot of things we're struggling in is things that Josh Green can offer us, like the energy and the defense, right? I'm hoping he sees that and understands that him being out, we need more of that. So let's increase his minutes from like say 25 to 30 again. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm hoping. Now we've seen the opposite with Jason Kidd, where it's like, yo, the Mavs Twitter is saying like, yo, you might need to give this man more minutes. He see that and it'd be like, no. You know what? 15 minutes a game. He's just like, well,
Right.
so I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. But it's
Yeah,
Jason Kidd, so you like playing Russian roulette. So
literally. Yeah, Reggie Bullock has been laying his duds again, and it's tough to see because I remember when he was here last year, right? First year here last year, I was rooting for him. I know he had a first rough couple of months. I think he turned around in December.
December,
Bro,
yeah.
we're in a January, and it's been 4 months of just subpar, not even subpar. I'm sorry, I'm being too nice.
Par. Take the sub out. Jesus,
Bogey
man.
play, man. He's been bogeying it up out here, bro. It's been horrible. Watching his wide open threes just clank, and I'm just like, what happened? And
TGK,
uh,
remember,
yeah,
he earned his minutes. Remember that. He earned his minutes.
yes, he did. He did earn his minutes.
Earned his
Like,
minutes.
so if you make shots in the playoffs, you just have a long leash when it comes to the regular season the following year. That's crazy.
That's how we work
I,
in the That's how we work with the Mavs. Remember, Rick Carlisle won the championship, and he had an extra 10 years just to go out here and just do
chill.
whatever he was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah.
man, that's tough. Because we've been calling for it. I mean,
Right.
I really wanted to get back to. Oh, I wanted to get to this player because Harold kind of mentioned him. Jaden Hardy. You saw what he did against the Celtics towards the end of that game. While the Celtics were stat padding, but Jaden Hardy went on a little tear there, and I like how aggressive he was, just going straight to the paint. There was like two people in there, and he was still able to finish it, make moves, make plays. And what scenario do you see where he could start getting up to 10 to 15, 20 minutes per game within the same season of this year?
When Tim Hardaway and Reggie Bullock are completely out of commission.
Ah,
Does that sound familiar? Yeah.
completely out of commission.
It sounds familiar. Like who else had the same similar situation? Oh, Christian Wood when Master Cleveland got hurt and JaVale McGee's out. You know what I mean? It's like you finally can put this guy in and say, oh, I mean now it's like, oh well, I'm putting him in now. It's like, yeah, you're putting him in out of necessity. It's not like you're putting him in because it's the right thing to do. So just like now, like you now Kemba Walker is out. Now you are able to put Jaden Hardy in for Kemba Walker now. You know what I mean? And it's like once those other guys are out of, like I said, Reggie Bullock get hurt. I'm not saying I want him to get hurt. I'm not saying that. Just say like something was to happen to one of them guys, then that's when he'll slide him in because you're doing it out of necessity. You know what I'm saying? But to see him finally get some minutes, I think a lot of us have been calling for it. It's like, yo, what do you have to lose, right? You got cardio. We're gonna start calling Reggie Bullock cardio. Cardio out here running for 35 minutes, giving you zeros, bro. And it's just like this man came in and got you 15. Think about this, TGK. He got you 15 points in 15 minutes. He also switched the tempo up when he got in the game. I told King this on the show yesterday. I was like, the day before, and I told him, I said, man, look, Dallas is known for being the slowest paced team in the league, right? So defense is kind of set for that. Teams kind of prepare for that. It'd be nice to have another player that can change up the pace a little bit and just hit you with quick points every once in a while that teams are not ready for. And that's what he can do. Look what he did as soon as he got in the game. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like that, and that's what you need. You need somebody who's gonna change that pace up, man, every once in a while. And plus, that gives you easy buckets. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to make it harder for yourself. Make it easier on yourself by getting the most efficient, easiest bucket that you can. And he did that yesterday. And he's young, and he's gonna bring energy. That's what you need. We need energy. You got a lot of older guys, bro, that out there playing like they're worn out. put some of them fresh legs in there, like the McKinley Wrights and the Jaden Hardys and stuff like that, man. The AJ Lawsons, you know what I'm saying? Put those
Mhm.
guys in there. Let's infuse some of this energy and this youth in there, man. That's what we need.
Yep. Because when you saw Jaden Hardy coming down the court, he had a different speed to him. Like if Luka had his speed, it'd be already like a cheat code for Luka if he had that kind of speed. But Jaden Hardy has speed, he has size, he has a shiftiness about him when he gets in the paint from what we saw. And then he was able to knock down 3 threes straight up, no misses. I was like, man, wow. Where has this been? You know what I'm saying? Like we got we got
Spin the G
yeah,
League.
we got Reggie Bullock over here giving us Tony Snell numbers, bro, and they talking about
Yeah. His new name gonna be Cardio, man. Now we call him Cardio.
cardio. It is cardio and trash can juice. And I feel bad for TSJ, but it's just last year I felt he was having not a decent season, because the season before he had a good year. Last year it was a rough year. It's kind of like similar to this year. Got hurt. We're like, all right, revenge season, right? Who told us revenge season? Who told y'all revenge season?
Johnny B. Shout out to Johnny B. Revenge. We say revenge season or revenge tour, one of them. And I was like, bro.
Yeah,
and like I said, it's funny, man. Cause we told the Glow Yard this, man. When he came in there and he had like was it 4 or 5 games or whatever in a row, where he was out there hitting everything, and I kept telling the folks, we tell them like, man, look, this is Tim Hardaway we're talking about. This is a guy that will look good for like 2 or 3 games, and then just completely disappear for 2 or 3 more games. You know what I'm saying? He's the most inconsistent guy I've ever seen in my life, probably other than like a J.R. Smith. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, he'll look good today, but then he'll look like trash tomorrow. It's never an in-between game with Tim Hardaway. It's either going to be good or he's going to be bad. And right now, he's reverted back to the bad.
Yeah. It's like he gives you 5 games, and then he gives you 5 weeks of poor play.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just ready, man, for them to throw him in some kind of trade package, man. That'd be nice.
Yeah, and I know you said you've been taking every game one at a time. I know you said you've changed your mindset to how you watch these games. And I know there's other Mavs fans out there that kind of like when we were younger, every game was like the game, So now that we're older, we're a little bit more jaded. We kind of see things a little bit more in detail. Would you change your perspective as to how you watch the games emotionally? Like how would you say you've taken this season so far?
Like a roller coaster, like Tim Hardaway's game, up and down. We were high, of course. You on the round table, 1-1 from the round table. We all were high. We all thought that Dallas would be the way they are right now as far as proceeding and all that. We thought that would be the case at the beginning of the season. We didn't think it was going to be a slow, probably except for DDP. I think he's the only one who said it's going to probably end up being a slow start. But I thought we was going to come out the gate. We heard them say is we're going to come out the gate. We know about the slow starts every year. We're going to come out the gate a little bit more aggressive and start hitting teams early. Now, of course, that was before we knew that, Jason Kidd was going to be stubborn and not start Christian Wood or whatever, right? So, like, it's been up and down for me, man. Like, I think I'm to the point now, like I said, the reason why I'm sticking with I'm going to take it game by game is because, we get real high on this team, and then, like, that one game can just knock the legs off from under it, right? For example, like the Celtics game. Like, everybody was high on the Dallas when they went on a 7-game win streak. That one Celtic game, and everybody's in here, oh, we're the trashiest team to ever be assembled. You know what I mean? So that's why I say, like, I try to take it one game at a time. I know sometimes Kings always jumping ahead, in the future and all that. I don't like doing that because I don't want to set myself up for failure. I've done it too many times. Like I said, I've been a Mad fan since this logo. And so I don't want to keep jumping ahead. And then when I get there, I get, angry because, like, well, damn it, I thought y'all were going to do this and that and this, and they were nowhere close. So I try to take it one game at a time so that way I don't set myself up. Not saying I think they're going to fail, but it's just a safety caution. So, you know what I'm saying? Just take it one game at a time, man. Take that game for what it is, and then try to build on whatever that situation is. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. I think it's good advice for how crazy this season has gone, because we did have, I wouldn't say we had like high hopes, but I think we had like we thought we were going to be good. not like high hopes we're gonna go and win championship. We just thought, all right, we lost JB, but watching Josh Green do what he did, and then Christian Wood, the idea of him coming off the bench, we were open to it at the time. But then as soon as the season started, it was just like nauseating for the first 30 games.
Let's get him in. Like, okay, we did enough. Get him in starting lineup. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
And then now that he's been in there, he's been a part of that winning streak. And I think it's due to his defense. I mean, he's been averaging, what, 2 to 3 blocks a game now since he's been in a starting position. You know, segueing into Christian Wood. The extension max is what, 4 years, 77 million. There's rumblings that they want to offer him 2 years for whatever, how much. And there's another podcast that said, 2 years for 40. What do you think we should do?
In a nutshell, we need to extend him.
Facts.
So I've been sleeping on this, man. I haven't told King this yet because I've been kind of like give him the 4 for 77. So I was thinking, would the 2 years actually be that bad, right? Because I keep hearing the number of 2025. Like that's the year we're gonna be able to do anything as far as like big splashy moves, right? So Dallas is trying to keep their powder dry until 2025 when we finally get all of our abundance of first rounds back. You have that 2023 pick is conveyed over to New York. Let's be honest, it's going to New York. We're not going to be bad enough to be a top 10 in the draft. So all that's going to be in the past, and so 25 will have the cap space, and we'll have all our first round picks, right? Unless we trade here in the next few months or a year or whatever. So I was thinking, Christian Wood maybe do take that too. It's not to say that he won't stay, and in fact, matter of fact, too, around that time, the salary cap would have spiked, so you'll be able to get even more money in 2025. You know what I mean? And so I'm kind of now on the fence of like, yo, take that 2-year deal, man. You know what I'm saying? And get your money now. Because I know there were players that were doing that at one point, like they were trying to position their contracts around the time where soon as the salary cap spikes because of the new TV deal, they'll be free agents at the beginning of that new TV deal, so they can get that the most money, or whatever. So I wouldn't be mad if Christian Wood did that. You know what I'm saying? Keep him for 2 years. Let's build. Let's see what we can do with that. Then 2 years, we got the other guys off the books. We still we can re-up him and then get other players in here, man, and make a run. So yeah, keep the talent. Keep the talent.
Yeah, no, I think it makes sense. If you're a GM, you're trying to manage a team, you want to offer him too, so you have some flexibility. My thing is, I think because we're jaded, I'm jaded as hell ever since we lost JB.
Oh,
and then super jaded. So I'm just like, no, you want to lock him up. I'm even of the type to say we need to lock up Josh Green right now. Like, what are we waiting for? So I don't want to run into another.
We're not going to be able to extend Josh Green till next year.
It's weird how these CBA laws work, because I thought we were able to extend him this year already, but no, I just think the front office just needs to be more. How would I put it? Just have more a sense of urgency when it comes to just signing players and keeping your talent.
Yeah,
that too. And I think for Christian Wood, I can see a 3-year deal where you give him either the player option, and I think that'll sweeten it versus the 4. Because I wouldn't mind the 4, but I think if you give him a 3-year deal with the 3rd year being a player option, it would be good for him to sign that, to then show, all right, in these 2 years, I was a good team player, played my role, didn't create no hostility, and now I can really go get that massive last deal, because he'll be going into his 30s after the next 2 seasons. So
yeah, because 3 years he'll be 30. He's 27 now, so yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense in theory. It just they need to hurry up and do it. Like what we're waiting for.
That's the thing. I don't know. We all don't know the ins and outs of what's going on behind closed doors between Christian Wood representatives and the Dallas Mavericks. It's kind of going by the news that we're hearing right now, as far as like why they're not signing or whatever like this. So I don't know. Like I said, I kind of slept on the whole 2-year deal thing. I'm not mad at that. Like I said, I'm ready to just kind of start. I mean, I'm tired of giving up the talent, i.e., JB. I want to start keeping talent while also trying to ship some of these other guys out that aren't doing anything, aren't making us better out, and then try to accumulate more talent. You know what I'm saying? So right now, um, I do definitely want to keep Christian Wood. Because I feel like, man, like what value are you going to get back for Christian Wood in the trade market, right? And trade him, we're already down on bigs right now. So it's like you trade him, you better not trade him for a guard or a wing or anything, because you need bigs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I said, we got what, about 4 weeks, probably less than that, to the trade deadline. So Nico gonna have to work his magic, man. So yeah, I'm telling you, I'm. It's gonna be to the point, man. I'm gonna take that title from me. I don't know about King. He's gonna probably be on here, but for me, it's gonna be. I'm gonna take away that Nico we trust, man. If he don't kind of
Nico,
get
we
something
trust.
going.
I think someone said there's an echo, but let me see if this will work. Hold on.